Hello and welcome to I'm Curious with T7, where we share stories, tips, and advice so you can achieve your goals in a fraction of the time. And for the next 5 episodes, we will be covering everything financial education related. I'm your host, T7, and today we have a very special guest with us. So if you'd like to go ahead and introduce yourself to the listeners and let them know a little bit about you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Trayshawn. So my name is Grace Asante-Ntoni, and I'm one of the founding members of Ntoni Property. And well, what we do is we invest in property, and my aim is to help busy professionals also invest in property, amongst other things. But that's our main vision.
That is absolutely amazing. And why don't you share with the listeners why you do that?
Why? Okay, so before my husband and I got married, we knew we wanted to have good quality time together. We wanted to build up passive income.
Mm,
So do something and get that regular monthly income. So before we got married, we knew we wanted to invest in property. And so that was always the aim and the vision. So along the journey, we got educated, became professional property investors ourselves, thereafter established a company to help others to do the same. So yeah.
that's absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's crazy. And really, like, what sets you apart from others in your field of expertise?
Okay. First and foremost, I'd say me. Me, my husband, us as a unit. Because our foundations, I think foundation is love primarily. And we know what it's like to be in a position of wanting to invest and not knowing where to go, where to start. Um, So having someone who is trustworthy, who can be is well networked, who knows what they're doing, who can help you get where you want to go, we're your people.
Amazing, amazing. I think that's definitely just so important because it's all good and all having all this theory, but if you haven't actually gone out there, done that, have the connections to make things possible, then it's actually not being put to good use.
Right,
Mm.
right, exactly. So yeah, having been able to be out in the field, experience what it really is to actually invest in property, experience the challenges, know how to navigate the challenges, and build up that core power team, the right people to help get the work done efficiently and effectively and professionally. It makes the difference.
Yeah, absolutely couldn't agree more. And you said that there's been like obviously many challenges that you've faced in regards to property. And what would you say is like the number one tip that you can give for those who may be looking to get into the field of expertise?
Primarily, get yourself educated where possible. So self-development is key. That's the foundation. Self-development, there's in this day and age, there's lots of resources about. So, there's a lot of podcasts, etc. Personally, we found Field in Financial. I'm very happy to plug them. If you go there, call my name. um, they gave us a good foundation, a comprehensive education, and a network of people whom you can bounce ideas off and get suitable and appropriate resources. So that's the primary thing. If you feel you don't have the time, maybe because your current work is so I don't know, it drains so much of your time, you don't have time to find the time to educate yourself, again, call upon us. We have set aside that time. This is what we do and are passionate about and happy to help facilitate the process for you.
That's really amazing. So guys, I hope you guys are taking notes. And what would you say is like the number one characteristic that people need to adopt when it comes to just learning anything financial education related?
Again, so like I said, education, primary self-development. So books, read books as well. One of my favorite authors is and teachers is Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, the cash flow quadrant. And once you start reading his books, you'll find other people to kind of learn from as well. Play. Life is like a big game. Play good games such as Monopoly. I never realized the value of Monopoly as a child. Only really in recent days and the recent lockdown Have I really enjoyed it as much as I do now and see the great value? So I play with my children. So in so doing, they are learning key skills about trading, about assets, about, you know, managing your money, you know. So you're playing, but you're learning, and you're building key skills. Because fundamentally, one thing I'll say is that property is not just bricks and mortar, it's about people. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's about generating win-win scenarios. So helping them to learn those skills from the get-go. Another game, the cash flow game, again by Robert Kiyosaki. So you're playing, but you're learning, and it's in reinforcing key skills, understanding concepts. Brilliant. um those are two main things I'd say. And then, so the question was in terms of getting into finances and
Yeah, yeah.
financial education. Also, get yourself managed, get yourself into a mindset of managing money. So T Hub Eka has a jar system, which I highly recommend. Absolutely love it. The way you're nodding, I think you're quite
Yeah,
familiar with it, you
definitely.
know. So you don't spend everything you get from the get-go. You have your allocated jars, so you know that maybe 10% as a Christian, I tithe, and maybe another 10% into your education to be able to invest in yourself, go on courses. And so if you have that jar, you're now not, it's not a case of I don't have the money. You have that jar set aside to be able to invest in your education. Another jar would be maybe for your long-term savings, you know? So again, for your emergency fund, have that buffer so that when things like a pandemic happen, you're not feeling under too much stress
Exactly.
or strain. You have that financial cushion. And then again, planning for your financial freedom, investing from now to be able to invest in property, invest in other assets, you know, and then you live off the balance of that 50 or 55%, however you choose to navigate the previous set. In fact, I also have a jar for giving, because as we sow into other people's
Yeah,
lives, we're
yeah.
sowing right back into our lives as well, you know? So yeah, so managing your money, because where your attention goes, you know, attention grows. So
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
want to grow money, you need to focus on it, see where the money comes in, where the money goes out, to be able to make the most of it.
Powerful, powerful. And if you guys did not catch any of that, feel free to rewind that and write this down. And I think that's definitely so important, especially we said about just like having that so-called like the rainy day account. Because when people often
Mm,
hear about this, they think, oh my gosh, I'm literally calling bad things into to our life. And it's not
mm,
that at all. As
mhm,
opposed to simply showing that you have a plan B, something to fall back on if it
mm,
ever comes, as opposed to thinking negatively and thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to happen. Instead, you
right.
just have this as a plan B, and saying that way, if it does ever happen,
Hmm.
then you then have something in place, so you're not running around like a headless chicken in panic mode.
Exactly. Planning is key. You know, the phrase, people don't plan to fail, but they do fail to plan. So
Yes.
start planning ahead, start thinking ahead. That's right.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And how can people then stay ahead with like just like the way that things are moving?
Stay connected. Stay connected to the right sources. One of my favorite sources of information is Bloomberg, you know? So it's a nice, comprehensive um, output of economical information. It's a nice assessment and appraisal of what's happening in the economy, you know? And stay connected with good professional bodies. If you're in the world of property, professional bodies related to property, to keep yourself again ahead of the game and abreast with the relevant legislations and requirements of you as a landlord, and ideally a professional landlord, you know. So podcasts, Instagram, find relevant people who are giving good value and pick up good information. So be responsible for your own self-development, and yeah, just stay in the know.
Definitely, definitely. I could not agree more. I think that's definitely just important because like when it, especially when it comes to like staying ahead and things like that and just being like knowledgeable, it's just about utilizing your resources to the maximum potential and using them to the best of your ability. Because
Right.
although you may not have like the most amount of, I don't know, like cash knowledge available, it's just about utilizing that, making it work until you then get to
Correct.
that point, that place where you're then able to do a lot more.
Very good. I agree.
Yeah, definitely. And is there any last words of wisdom, advice that you would like to share with the listeners?
um, I'd say remember everything I've said before and apply discipline. You know, so first of all, with property, we're talking about plan. Think about what you want, write it down, be clear, have a strategy, and stick to it. Overall, you stick to it. That said, things are changing. So you will modify certain things as you go. Have an element of flexibility, but having a strategy you stick to and being disciplined is so key. So we're talking specifically in the area of property, but even in investing in stocks, you have to be disciplined. You have to know when you are stopping your losses. You have to
Yes.
have your boundaries and stick to it. You think with your head, not with your heart. Let the numbers talk. So those are my main takeaways for you. Have a plan, be disciplined, and let the numbers talk. Make
Mm.
sure your investment is giving you money.
Yeah, yes, love it. I love it. And I think that's definitely so key because, as you did say, it's about learning to evolve, but not
Mm,
forgetting those fundamentals. So then you basically run around following the trend and then actually losing a lot of money. And as you did say for the last point, let
mm,
the numbers talk. It's
yes.
been absolutely amazing interviewing you today, Grace. And thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
I hope you listeners have enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. That's it from me. Bye.